is Late Edition News at 10 with Ann Gownley. Sports with Beth Mensinger. Meteorologist Joe Garbacik. And senior news analyst L.A. Jerome.
A fatal accident this afternoon in Wright Township, and it's our top story tonight. Good evening. This is WYLN's Late Edition for Monday, November 4th, 2013. I'm Ann Gownley. Luzerne County Coroner Bill Listman has confirmed that an accident that occurred south of Aberdeen Road near the intersection of Wood Street was fatal. The car was found lying on its side in the northbound lane of South Main Road, resting on the driver's side door. Listman has not released the identity of the victim. The crash is being investigated, and we are expecting more information from that accident this afternoon. Residents in Freeland have been hearing what they're calling explosions. Well, today we spoke with officials who are investigating. The sounds of explosions have Freeland residents on edge and asking the questions, what is it and why is it happening? Today, Fire Chief Joseph Stepanski answers those questions.
We're hearing them late at night, late evening, throughout the different parts of the borough. It's determined right now that they're fireworks. If anybody that could come forward with any information to the police department to try to resolve it, we're getting complaints about it ourselves here at the fire station. Step forward and, be strict confidence, and we can try to get it under control.
According to Stepanski, the fire department has received numerous phone calls from residents about hearing the explosions. Twice the department was called out to a wooded area of the borough, but never finding anything. One resident we spoke with off camera says he has heard them for the past few days and adds they are happening at all hours of the night. Chief Stepanski says he has even heard them himself, and it worries him and the rest of the department because setting off the suspected fireworks could cause major damage, especially during this time of the year.
Dry time of the season, brush fires could occur. If something doesn't go off, lands in the dry grass or dry brush, start a brush fire. Use some common sense. They shouldn't be used at all anyway. Most of the fireworks, like what we're hearing, is illegal. Like I said, just use common sense, and right now it's not a good time to be using anything with fire because of the dry conditions.
Anyone with information is asked to contact the Freeland Borough Police Department, who is investigating, at 570-636-0111. One woman is confirmed dead after a fire at a home in Lake Harmony Estates in Kidder Township. Just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, emergency crews were called for reports of an explosion and a house fire on Toby Hanna Street. Now, according to neighbors, the explosion shook their homes and smoke could be seen for miles. Witnesses say they saw one man being dragged from the home by a neighbor. A state police fire marshal has confirmed the death of one woman and that a man and another woman were taken to an area hospital.
There were people in the neighborhood reporting a loud explosion, and within minutes saw fire and smoke showing. When we arrived, the building was fully involved in flames. Already the ambulance was on scene. They were located just a couple of blocks away. And they had already taken one victim, had him in the ambulance, and was transporting him off to the hospital. There's a report of a second victim unaccounted for at this time.
Now, like Chief Lennon said, the home was fully involved before they even left the fire station. 6 area fire departments responded to the scene.
They ended up having to go down a little further down to a hydrant system and to gain water. But in terms of running out of water, it was pretty normal here. It was not a major factor in the game at all. I mean, they did run out, but when you're using tanker shuttles and stuff, that does happen. But
we are told the fire crews will be on the scene much of tonight, putting out hot spots and searching the area. A state police fire marshal is investigating what caused this afternoon's explosion and fire in Lake Harmony Estates. A body was found inside a wrecked car near Commerce Drive in Hazel Township around 7:30 this morning. State police say the man died when his car crashed and rolled over, but aren't sure if it happened late Sunday night or early this morning. The man was identified as Edward Canavisi Cabezas Bonilla this afternoon. When emergency crews from Hazel Township Fire and Rescue got to the scene, they found the 2001 Dodge Stratus on its roof and down a small embankment with the victim trapped inside. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Police say when the vehicle went down the embankment, it struck a concrete parking lot, flipped, and landed on the group of concrete barriers, crushing the driver's side of the vehicle. Luzerne County Deputy Coroner Jeff Stock pronounced him dead on the scene after sustaining major head trauma in the wreck. An elderly man was robbed by two Hispanic males on Saturday just after 3:30 in the afternoon. Hazleton police say the incident occurred in the area of Wyoming and Juniper Streets. Now, according to the victim, the two males forcibly removed his wallet. He describes them as two Hispanic males as being in their late teens, early 20s, slim-built, and both approximately 5 feet 10 inches to 6 feet tall. Anyone with information is asked to call the Hazleton police at 570-459-4940. Police in Wilkes-Barre were led on a chase this morning after police were conducting surveillance at the home of 29-year-old Anthony Scott of Empire Street because he matched the description of a wanted man. Scott left in his car and police tried to pull him over, but he refused to stop. Police say they observed Scott reaching from the center console to his mouth. Scott turned onto North Sherman Street and hit an unmarked state police cruiser. Officers pulled him from the car and found a strong odor of cocaine on his breath and crack caked around his mouth, the front driver's seat, and the center console. Police took him into custody, but Scott began seizing and was taken to Wilkes-Barre General Hospital, treated for consuming crack. Scott is charged with aggravated assault, driving under the influence, tampering with evidence, fleeing from police, and related charges. The Hazleton Integration Project has been a big hit. HIP says that since it opened the Hazleton 1 Community Center in the old MPB school, usage has exploded.
Yeah, it's kind of quite remarkable when you think about it. 4 months ago, this center wasn't even open. And now I can tell you verifiably we have 1,500 people per week walking through our door. And we did have an idea that we had touched upon a need, but honestly, we just never understood how deep and how broad the need is.
The great response that we have from the community, because they would like to be involved. It's not just a student that we have from the school. We have kids before they go to school. We have a program called Play and Learn for those kids who are children who are from 3 years to 4. I mean, they will be getting ready to go to pre-K to the school. And we have another big group of adults in which we have ESL, 12th class, and we have computer class in English and Spanish, and citizenship class.
In fact, the demand has been so great that the center has just added a new after-school program.
3 weeks ago, we started this after-school program with about 40 kids, and recently we capped it at 100 children. When the children get here, the first thing they do is they get a hot meal. We're working with the Commission on Economic Opportunity to provide those hot meals. And so the kids who come here, the first thing we do is satisfy that hunger, because nobody's going to be a good student while they're hungry. And then as soon as they're finished eating, we send them to age-appropriate classrooms. So this is a program that is grades 3 through grades 8.
Curry says those classes are capped at 15 students and most have 2 adults. Sosa says when programs run by HIP aren't using the center, other community groups are.
We have partner. We allow them to use the facility. For instance, at the Crime Watch, they meet here every month. And we have Magnolia Project, we have Crisis Pregnancy, we have also allowed, for instance, the chief of police was giving training to their agent, and has been very a good resource to the community to have a midpoint in which they can do what the community needs to be a better place.
And Curry says the kids who use the center come from a wide geographic area.
Most of the kids are from the Castle, the former high school, the Hazleton, right up there on 9th and Wyoming, because they can walk. So it's very easy for them to get here. But we do have children from all other areas as well. West Hazleton is here, McAdoo. We even have some kids driving, or not the kids, but the parents drive them up from the Tamaqua area. So we do have a kind of broad perspective of how many kids are in the building and where those kids come from.
But the center can still use volunteers. If you'd like to be one, you can call HIP at 570-861-8081 or log on to HazletonIntegrationProject.com. A special awards dinner tonight in Hazleton to thank those who have given so much to the Helping Hand Society. Tonight marked the annual reorganization dinner for the Helping Hand Society. Executive Director Mary Beth Cook says they do this each year so the board of directors, employees, parents, and former students can meet. This year's dinner was held at Eli's Restaurant in West Hazleton.
Even the silly ones. Over the years, many people have been thanked and many more yet to come. It's so difficult to pick the names of the people you're going to thank each year because you want to thank so many. So for those of you out there that know you have done so much, we'll be getting to you too. I mean, it's just overwhelming, the outpouring of the public and how supportive they have been to us, and it's really working great. I mean, our children are doing wonderful, so we have a lot of thanks to send out there.
For more information on Helping Hands or how you can donate, you can log on to helpinghandsociety.com. Well, also this week, the Helping Hand Society of Hazleton will be holding a wine tasting event to raise money for the school. The event will take place Thursday, November 7th at Mia's Restaurant on Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. We spoke with Marketing Director at Helping Hands, Joelle Martinelli, about what guests can expect.
We're really excited. We have a really fun group together so far. It's $65 a ticket, and that includes a 4-course meal. You get to choose between 2 main dinner courses, and with each course, there will be a different type of wine that a wine expert will describe to you and show you, and obviously you get to taste it with the dinner selection that you choose. And it's going to be a really fun night.
Martinelli says events like this would not be possible without the help of local sponsors.
We're so appreciative of the sponsors when they sign up to support our events. We'd really like to thank our premier sponsors, Service Master by Griffing, Bank of America, and Mary Beth Hayden, who just called in yesterday and said, how can I be a part of this? So we greatly appreciate all of that. So if you are interested in coming to the event, give us a call here at the office or find us online, and just let us know by Tuesday, November 5th, how many people you'd like, and we'll reserve a table for you, and you can join the fun.
So if you would like to join the fun, you can call Helping Hands 570-455-4958, or again, log on to helpinghandsociety.com for more information. Well, as you get ready to head to the polls tomorrow, one thing is for sure, you still do not need your ID to vote. A ruling by a judge prevents the voter ID law from taking effect. In July, a judge held a trial on the law's constitutionality, but still hasn't issued a ruling. The Department of State was criticized for not continuing to educate people about the law, but it has spent nearly $1 million on spreading the word about that law. You will be asked to show ID, but you don't have to, and you can't be refused voting if you don't. Details have been released about the fatal shooting at LAX in Los Angeles last week. INN's Kung Lee has them.
Investigators are still piecing together their timeline of what happened inside Terminal 3. They don't know every step of Paul Ciancia's path through the terminal. But here's what they do know. A roommate dropped him off here at the airport. He entered at about 9:20 in the morning, one of these entrances at Terminal 3. According to pictures like this one, as well as surveillance video, the gun was a .223 caliber assault rifle which Ciancia concealed in a bag. He then approached TSA officer Gerardo Hernandez, who was standing there where those flowers are. This is a pre-screening area, and he shot him point blank multiple times in the chest. He then got on this escalator.
The defendant is then alleged to have begun walking away from the wounded TSA officer, going up an escalator, and then coming back down that escalator to return and shoot the wounded officer again.
At the top of the escalators is the security checkpoint. At some point, he wounded 2 additional TSA officers and 1 passenger. This is the other side of the security checkpoint. From here, the gunman made his way deep into Terminal 3. Cell phone video captured the chaos as he neared the passenger gates.
People were running and people were getting knocked down, and there was luggage everywhere, and mayhem is the best way of describing it.
We're speeding up this video so you can see his path as he wound through the terminal, making his way to the gate area. Ciancia had 5 loaded magazines, a host of unspent ammo, enough said the mayor of Los Angeles to kill everybody in this terminal. It ended right around here when Los Angeles Airport Police shot the gunman. A handwritten note was found on him.
We found a statement where he made a conscious decision to kill multiple TSA employees. He addressed them at one point in the letter and stated that he wanted to, quote, instill fear into their traitorous minds.
As the FBI works out the details of this murderous path, the TSA is also asking how, in this post-9/11 era, did a gunman make it this close to an American passenger plane?
Obviously, this gives us great concern, and so we look at what our policies are, but it's all done in cooperation with each airport police agency and how we go about providing for the best possible security.
Because on this day at America's third busiest airport, it failed to prevent one man with a gun from doing this.
And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe, how is the weather looking for those headed to the polls tomorrow?
Well, overall, looking pretty nice out there for Election Day, but right now it is just downright cold here in the backyard. At least we don't have to worry too much about a breeze. That's the good news because it would make it feel much colder than the actual air temperature indicates. But Election Day looking pretty nice, so no reason not to get out and vote. Here's a look at some of the national temperatures across our area. We continue to be in a downswing of temperatures across the Northeast, and you think it's cold here. How about Great Falls and Bismarck, where temperatures are only in the 20s? Will we see a warm-up in the forecast? I'll let you know coming up next.
Award-winning children's recording artist Laurie Berkner will bring her music to Hazleton when the Laurie Berkner Band performs at the Wiltsey Center at the Historic Castle on Saturday, November 23rd at 2 p.m. Doors open at 12:30. Tickets may be purchased through wiltseycenter.org or at Ticketmaster retail outlets including select Boscov's and Walmart locations. The Laurie Berkner Band, November 23rd at the Wiltsey Center at the Historic Castle.
Welcome to Robert Stevens Face and Body, Hazleton's complete skincare center. Here, our licensed specialists will consult with you to discuss your skincare needs, rejuvenate you with our special facial treatments, and apply gentle, relaxing massages to melt your tension away, using all state-of-the-art technical treatments and superior skin products. So call today and let the transformation begin at Robert Stevens Face and Body, 788-7546.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Don't miss what's going on this week at Heritage. Super hot weekly specials, too many to advertise. Only at Heritage, and a 3-day meat and deli sale.
There's a new game in town, Greater Hazletonopoly. This year's must-have holiday gift is the Hazleton area's very own version of the world-famous game. This limited edition game is the perfect gift for the holidays, for friends and family, for students out of town, for members of our armed forces. It also makes a great corporate gift, too. It's a fun way to learn about our area and proceeds support community projects in Greater Hazleton. But hurry, only a limited number of games are available, and when they're gone, they're gone. Greater Hazletonopoly, only $19.95 at these locations. Your vote counts, and we know it. WYLN will have the most complete election coverage in the area. Reporters in the field, continuous updates of the numbers from all the races that affect you, plus interviews with those who won and those who didn't, all anchored by the most experienced political commentators in the business. 2013 election night coverage, Tuesday, November 5th, starting at 8 p.m. on your local network, WYLN TV 35.
Well, it is looking pretty nice out there weather-wise, except the cold temperatures across our region at this 10 o'clock hour. We have nothing to show you on our live 35 Skycast Doppler. Continues to be dry from Wilkes-Barre through Scranton, down through Lehighton, out through Danville, Williamsport, and Lewisburg. No points at this time reporting any type of rain, and it's going to stay dry through tonight, and it will continue to stay dry as we head into the daytime hours of tomorrow. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, we're hanging on at 31 degrees. Notice the dew point number very, very low, only at 16. Pressure coming in at 30.51 inches of mercury. Again, we've been through the day without seeing any rainfall, and notice those winds averaging about 5 to occasionally 10 miles per hour. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 42 and 20. The split in temperatures right here at the station, the averages are 54 and 36, so we were well below where we should be for this time of year. Record high and low, 78 set in 1994, record low 22. Keep in mind, those official statistics are at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, because you need to have at least 30 or more years of consecutive data. Of course, we don't have it here in Hazleton, so we keep the records at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport. They actually got down to 22. Yeah, we got down to 20, but for the records, 22. So now that's tied in 1998, 1951, as well as this year for 2013. 6:39, 4:56, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So you can see the 20s this morning. How about Bradford? Getting down to 17 degrees. Definitely was a very cold morning across all of our viewing area, and it didn't really warm up too much. Only getting up into the 40s, barely into the 40s in some locations. Temperature-wise right now, 30 in New Angola, 33 in Berwick, 34 in Monoy City, and 34 degrees in Danville. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. You can see some of those clouds making their way into our area. And these clouds that are coming into our area should at least keep temperatures a little bit milder compared to what we saw last night, because those clouds act as a blanket, keeping some of that warm air in. What you see over the northern part of Jersey, that is nothing more than ground clutter. No precipitation to deal with, and we'll stay dry through tonight. Election day for tomorrow, we're going to continue to stay dry across all of our area. Not looking too bad. I think we'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine, and looks like Wednesday should be fairly dry across our region. Next chance of seeing any rain won't get here until our Thursday. Looking at the numbers tonight, generally 30s, maybe some upper 20s. Tomorrow we're up into the 40s. Some locations will be near 50 degrees, and then we drop down into the 30s as we head into tomorrow night. Wednesday, noontime hour, we should be up into the 50s. So it'll be milder tomorrow. So that, of course, is the good news, a mix of clouds and sunshine, 20s to lower 30s as we head into tonight. And as we go into tomorrow, generally 40s. Some locations will be in the lower 50s. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next couple of days. Upper 40s for tomorrow, lower 50s for Wednesday. Some showers around for Thursday. Friday and Saturday staying in the 40s and up into the 50s for Sunday. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 043, the big 4, 5917. Quinto numbers 01316, and the cash 5, 6, 7, 23, 28, and 36. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue to have more Late Edition at 10 after these commercial messages.
Bad credit? No credit, no problem. Valmont Auto Sales on Route 93 in West Hazleton can help. At Valmont, they offer a variety of clean and fully serviced cars, trucks, and minivans. Valmont offers easy credit. Buy here, pay here. They offer low down payments, same-day approval, and all their vehicles are only $65 a week. They are locally owned and operated. Call Jerry or Joe today at 501-2626. Valmont Auto Sales, located on Route 93 near Arby's in West Hazleton.
Hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Can I just get your name for our mailing list?
Yeah, sure. Smitty Jones.
Is that the same Smitty Jones that lives at 1 Phillip Street?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't complete this transaction.
What do you mean? I'm just buying a candy bar.
Unfortunately, your credit score is too low.
What do you mean? I'm paying cash.
Sir, I'm going to need you to settle down.
Listen, I'm not freaking out.
Security!
Come on.
Clean up. Checkout 15. Clean up. Even if your credit is this bad, we can still help. Penn Financial Group. We stop foreclosures, stop sheriff sales, reduce or eliminate your debt, and improve your credit rating, guaranteed. Call us today for a free consultation. Penn Financial Group. Get credit happy.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
With over 35 years as a community leader and as a teacher of mathematics, Eugene Kelleher knows what it will take to lower the county debt.
We can't raise taxes to lower the debt and put our seniors in jeopardy of losing their homes, and borrowing funds will only make matters worse. If re-elected, I will work with other council members to secure alternate revenue streams to lower the county debt. But I need your vote.
Vote Eugene Kelleher for Luzerne County Council.
This week on Women Today, it's breast cancer prevention, treatment, and education. Dr. Denise from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance is going to tell you about some very good new techniques that they have for early detection. Later in the show, we're going to do some cooking with Kathy. We'll pause with Virginia Jane. We'll find out who's going on that ghost hunt, and we're going to tell you about a very special Businesswoman of the Week who's great at multitasking. It's all coming up on Women Today. Join us.
Since the Bloomsburg University football team lost to Shippensburg last week in a huge upset, the Huskies have dropped 10 spots in today's Top 25 AFCA Top 25 poll. The Huskies were at 6 but now sit at 16 after Thursday's 34-18 defeat. That was their first loss of the season, but this season is far from over. Bloom will be heading to play number 8 Westchester on Saturday. The winner of this weekend's gridiron matchup will represent the Eastern Division in the PSAC. Now that championship game is set for November 16th. Today, last season's NHL Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks were welcomed to the White House in Washington, D.C. It's the second time that the team visited the White House during Obama's presidency after winning the Cup.
Since I took office, we've hosted a lot of championship teams from Boston and New York, Pittsburgh, Miami. But since I've been president, only one team has brought a world championship to my hometown of Chicago, and now the Blackhawks have done it twice. So, these are not just good hockey players, they're good guys. And that helps explains why 2 million Chicago fans came out to Grant Park to celebrate bringing home the Cup. Speaking of Grant Park, we were originally going to let Corey Crawford say a few words today, but we thought we'd keep this family event family friendly. You guys been hanging out with Rahm Emanuel too much.
And the president referring to the Blackhawks goalie Corey Crawford, who during the celebrations in Grant Park gave a speech laced with profanity, but from the sounds of it today, all seems to be forgiven. And the professional tennis season is winding down as the 8 best players in the world will be battling to end their year on top at the ATP World Tour Finals in London. Those players include last year's reigning champion Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, who sat down and looked back on their season with the media earlier today.
It's great to have a really successful autumn season after the US Open final loss. I had a great Davis Cup tie against Canada, which I think gave me a confidence boost and motivation to, of course, keep on playing well. And I'm enjoying competition at this moment. I'm really satisfied with where my game is. And results are showing the way I feel on the court, so hopefully I can stay on the run.
Well, for me, the
the year number one is, well, I prefer to finish number one and to finish number two, but seriously, I don't change nothing that will happen this year to finish the season number one. No, I think all the things that happened this season to me were very, very emotional. I enjoyed it a lot, and at the end, number one, number two is just a number. That doesn't make me much more happy. So what made me happy is feel myself again competitive, playing well, competing for the most important events, and that's what happened this year. No, so anything can happen here, but that's not going to change that. My season probably is one of the best of my career. And
also in this week's round-robin tournament, Roger Federer, David Ferrer, and Juan Martin Del Potro. I will be back with more sports in a little bit. Make sure you stay tuned. Ann is back on the desk next, coming up after the break.
Everyone knows Dan here at Heritage Hill. He's been devoted to our family of residents for over a decade. Experienced, nurturing, exceptional. It's what our care team is all about. Our residents enjoy personal care, homemade meals, day trips, clubs, and social activities. Shepherd's Garden, our memory care neighborhood, ensures a compassionate and secure environment. Come meet us. We're honored to share our hearts, our home, our heritage of caring. Heritage Hill Senior Community in Weatherly. Call today for your free personal tour.
Meet Kate. She seems like an ordinary girl, goes to an ordinary school, and is part of an ordinary family. But there is something you don't know about her. Kate's dad lost his job a while back, and her family has to make tough decisions. And sometimes that means no money for food. This makes Kate's tummy hurt. 1 in 5 children in our country struggles with hunger. But there is hope. Your local food bank is able to provide food for your neighbors in need, like Kate and her family. And that makes Kate's tummy feel good.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Dr. John and Dr. Stacy are going to give us some very helpful advice as the seasons change. You're raking those fall leaves or shoveling that winter snow. They can give us some advice on how you can do so safely. And if you do have a few aches and pains, they're going to tell you what you can do and introduce you to some great products that can help you feel better. It's all coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Luzerne County Coroner Bill Listman has confirmed that an accident that occurred south of Aberdeen Road near the intersection of Wood Street was fatal. The car was found lying on its side in the northbound lane of South Main Road, resting on the driver's side door. Listman has not released the identity of that victim. The crash is being investigated, and we are expecting more information. One woman is dead after a fire at a home in Lake Harmony Estates in Kidder Township. Just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, emergency crews were called for reports of an explosion and house fire on Toby Hanna Street. Now, according to neighbors, the explosion shook their homes and smoke could be seen for miles. Witnesses say they saw one man being drugged from the home by a neighbor. A state police fire marshal has confirmed the death of a woman and that a man and another woman were taken to an area hospital.
There were people in the neighborhood reporting a loud explosion, and within minutes saw fire and smoke showing. When we arrived, the building was fully involved in flames. Already the ambulance was on scene. They were located just a couple of blocks away. And they had already taken one victim, had him in the ambulance, and was transporting him off to the hospital. There's a report of a second victim unaccounted for at this time.
Chief Lennon says the home was fully involved before they even left the fire station. 6 area fire departments responded to the scene.
They ended up having to go down a little further down to a hydrant system and to gain water. But in terms of running out of water, it was pretty pretty normal here. It was not a major factor in the game at all. I mean, they did run out, but when you're using tanker shuttles and stuff, that does happen. But
We are told fire crews will be on scene much of the night, putting out hot spots and searching the area. A state police fire marshal is investigating what caused this afternoon's explosion and fire in Lake Harmony Estates. A body was found inside a wrecked car near Commerce Drive in Hazel Township around 7:30 this morning. Police say the man died when his car crashed and rolled over, but aren't sure if it happened late Sunday night or early this morning. The man was identified as Edward Cabezas Bonilla this afternoon. When emergency crews from Hazel Township Fire and Rescue got to the scene, they found the 2001 Dodge Stratus on its roof and down a small embankment with the victim trapped inside. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Police say when the vehicle went down the embankment, it struck a concrete parking lot, flipped and landed on a group of concrete barriers, crushing the driver's side of the vehicle. Luzerne County Deputy Coroner Jeff Stock pronounced him dead at the scene after sustaining major head trauma in the wreck. An elderly man was robbed by two Hispanic males on Saturday just after 3:30 in the afternoon. Hazelton police say the incident occurred on the area of Wyoming and Juniper Streets. Now, according to the victim, the two males forcibly removed his wallet. He describes them as two Hispanic males as being in their late teens, early 20s, slim-built and both approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall to 6 feet tall. Anyone with information is asked to call the Hazelton police at 570-459-4940. Residents in Freeland have been hearing what they're calling explosions. Well, today we spoke with officials who are investigating. The sounds of explosions have Freeland residents on edge and asking the questions, what is it and why is it happening? Today, Fire Chief Joseph Stepanski answers those questions.
We're hearing them late at night, late evening, throughout the different parts of the borough. It's determined right now that they're fireworks. If anybody that could come forward with any information to the police department to try to resolve it, we're getting complaints about it ourselves here at the fire station. Step forward and, it'll be strict confidence and we can try to get it under control.
According to Stepanski, the fire department has received numerous phone calls from residents about hearing the explosions. Twice the department was called out to a wooded area of the borough, but never finding anything. One resident we spoke with off camera says he has heard them for the past few days and adds they are happening at all hours of the night. Chief Stepanski says he has even heard them himself, and it worries him and the rest of the department because setting off the suspected fireworks could cause major damage, especially during this time of the year.
Dry time of the season, brush fires could occur. If something doesn't go off, lands in the dry grass or dry brush, start a brush fire. Use some common sense. They shouldn't be used at all anyway. Most of the fireworks, like what we're hearing, is illegal. Like I said, just use common sense. And right now, it's not a good time to be using anything with fire because of the dry conditions.
Anyone with information is asked to contact the Freeland Borough Police Department, who is investigating, at 570-636-0111. Well, it's pretty obvious why we have our senior news analyst here.
Election Eve.
It's election eve. You ruined my whole intro. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. LA, obviously, tonight is a big night, a decision night for a lot of people thinking about it. Tomorrow, they head to the polls. We talked earlier. It's not a lot of people for an election season, but there are some big races.
Well, you're probably looking at region-wide 15, well, maybe more like 20%. Now, there's some spots where it's going to be a little bit higher. I think Hazleton's going to be higher because of the city council race. Luzerne County with the council race, you would think that would bring people up, but I think people are still confused. It's so fractious. You've got 6 people, or 5 people, 5 seats up with all the candidates. I don't think you're going to see a real big turnout or anything. But we have to address what has become a very disturbing pattern of nearly mind-boggling incompetence in the Luzerne County Elections Bureau. If you saw that, I'm really surprised the story didn't get more attention than it has. Tom Reagan had a story on Saturday in the Standard speaking to Jack Mundy, who ran a writing campaign to get the Republican nomination as well as the Democrat nomination, and he got both. Well, somewhere after August, the Luzerne County Elections Bureau lost the paperwork. Now, whether you like Mundy or you don't like Mundy, the idea that somebody who would win a nomination then be deprived of it because of ignorance and stupidity in the County Elections Bureau is not acceptable at all. And if you read the rest of Tom's story in the paper on Saturday, it painted a picture of incredible incompetence. Now, nobody's
talked about this before in that
office. I mean, it
office.
keeps getting worse. This is like the 7th calamity.
Right.
Nobody's sure if Hazleton is a city or a borough.
That was last year, I remember.
Which is astounding. Yeah, we had the story where it was on the ballot as Hazleton Borough Council. There was the calamity with the election, the school board election that had to be redone.
Right. Because somebody's name was left on it.
Yeah, there was the election materials that were tossed on a poll watcher's porch and stolen. That could have led to identity theft. Mercifully, it didn't.
Right.
There was the calamity of trying to get election numbers.
I was going to say, even the
Primary
numbers.
night, they were a disaster.
What about getting the ballots even?
Well, that Saturday, just this last weekend, I guess it was, I looked to see which major counties in this state had sample election ballots up. Lehigh did, Northampton did, Lackawanna did, Dauphin did, Luzerne didn't. Now, this is a very disturbing pattern. It's one thing to say somebody makes mistakes. Everybody's human. We make mistakes. This is 7 or 8 major calamities, and I cannot believe that County Manager Bob Lawton and City Council isn't in there cleaning house. Because obviously there's nobody in that office who's capable of doing the job that he or she has assigned. If it were up to me, I would fire everybody. Because this is a catastrophe. This is a county of 319,000 people, 171 voting precincts, and you've got people who are working there who aren't sure that if a municipality there's 30,000 people in, is it a city or a borough? Mind-boggling incompetence and stupidity. Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything left to say with that, because I know that's what we were talking about earlier.
And
last year when it happened, it was, I can't believe that happened. Now when you see something like this happen again, it's how many times is this going to happen?
Yep, and I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow night. I certainly hope that we don't have the problems tomorrow night getting numbers that we did in the primary, and we may, because remember, the primary countywide, the turnout was only about 21%. Right. It's probably going to be a little bit higher now. I don't know it's going to be that much higher, but if there is such a problem in the primary, we could have another major problem tomorrow night. As for what's on the ballot, probably the hottest race in our viewing area would likely be that controller's race in Luzerne County between Democrat Michelle Bednar and Republican Carolee Medico-Olenjinsky. Michelle Bednar has radio spots now that are being done by Eugene DePasquale, who is the Auditor General. First of all, I have a little bit of a problem with that because I don't believe that somebody who is elected to what's supposed to be an apolitical office should be campaigning for anybody else. But secondly, to give you an idea, when the copy came in, 2 people at the radio station where I work came and asked me how they pronounced the guy's name. They'd never heard of him. So I don't know that he's going to be that big of a draw to help. Right. What else is on in Luzerne County? Not much. The Schuylkill County Sheriff's Office now. This race is looking like it's coming from the Twilight Zone. Right. Because Reynolds, of course, the charges, and he suspends his campaign on Friday, but then he says today that if he's elected, he will assume the office. He's been told he can, and I don't know if anybody verified that or whatever. And then, of course, Mark Kessler is running a write-in campaign. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Kessler got more votes than Reynolds. I think Joe Grody is probably already counting on his second term. And that Schuylkill County DA's race is interesting.
That is. And, because people weren't able to vote for DA Burns Nunes right now. She was appointed. So now we do have technically 2 new ones on there, although she's been on there
Christine
since...
Holman, I think, ran before, too.
She has run against Goodman. So she did run against him as well. So it's well-known names in Schuylkill County. A lot of people know both of them, so they kind of know their backgrounds and where they stand. And
she unveiled 2 significant drug arrests last week. I think we had both stories. I think they're talking about like 27 people arrested, and there were some people who said, a week before election.
Right.
And Christine Holman, of course, her husband is Clyde Holman, well known in Schuylkill County because he had been an aide to late state Senator Jim Rhodes for a long time. So that's 2 candidates with relatively high profiles in a county that hasn't necessarily been hit by crime as much as Luzerne County and Wilkes-Barre or Hazleton, but certainly it's had an increase more than a lot of drug traffic, Pottsville, Tamaqua, Shenandoah. So it is a busy office, a much busier office than say maybe it was 20 or 25 years ago. So there are no big blockbusters. Turnout's going to be down, but you've got 4 or 5 offices, 4 or 5 races in our viewing area that are very important. Some of those races have gotten hot. There's a race just out of our viewing area in Pittston, that district judge race between a guy named Macedon and a woman named Kokora that has gotten really nasty with them trading insults. And it's the highest profile race in northeastern Pennsylvania, though it's a little out of our viewing area, the Scranton mayoral race. If you don't live in Scranton, it's gotten absolutely hilarious the way they're beating each other up, with one guy running an ad against the other guy to the tune of rawhide. He didn't pay his taxes. And it's hilarious, actually.
I'm sure you can look it up.
And we'll see what the turnout is there, too. But, you know, and you have coverage here
we
tomorrow night?
We do. That's what I want to get to right now. We do have coverage here starting tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We run till 10 o'clock tomorrow. All of these races that we're talking about, we will be covering. We will have reporters out in the field. Myself, Beth Bensinger, Gary Perna. We'll be sending Mike Lula up to Luzerne County Courthouse. It's his home away from home. Right. So he'll be up there covering that. Here in the studio, we will have Don Pachens, Tiffany Cloud of the Storm. We also have David Yonkai, good friend of LA, always politics on his side, and Councilwoman Jean Mope. All 4 of them will be discussing the numbers and bringing the numbers to you live, as well as us out in the field speaking with candidates.
If I can throw in a little shameless self-promotion, if you're not in front of a television, you're in the car, WILK tomorrow, Nancy Kamen, Steve Corbett, and me in the control room, and a bunch of people out around the field.
Well, when I'm not out there and I'm driving to a different polling place, I'll listen to this one. All right, thank you, LA. Always good when you're talking politics. Thank you so much. All right, coming up next, Beth is back in with more sports. But first, let's head back outside with our chief meteorologist, Joe Garbacik.
Thank you very much. It is definitely cold out here in the backyard, but again, the wind's averaging maybe about 5 miles per hour, so it could be worse for this time of year, but then again, it could be even milder because this is some very cold air that continues to infiltrate northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Good news is for Election Day tomorrow, we're going to have to deal with some milder air. Now, we have nothing to show you live 35 Skycast Doppler. No matter where you're watching us from, on radar, you can see for yourself. There is not a drop to be found. It is just cold as I speak. When will we see some warmer conditions? I'll let you know coming up in a bit.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazelton, serving the greater Hazelton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
Edgewood in the Pines, located in Drums, provides the perfect scenery in any season to complement your wedding or special event. From the spectacular colors of fall, a cozy winter setting, or the plush greens of summer, Edgewood will provide a breathtaking setting for your exceptional affair. Edgewood is perfect for weddings, birthday celebrations, showers, baptism, or any special event. From small intimate gatherings to breathtaking formal affairs, your event is certain to be an amazing experience to remember for years to come. Celebrate at Edgewood in the Pines.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
diamond quality moments. Choose Sophie Jewelers, specializing in custom diamond engagement rings, located in the Coal Creek Plaza, Route 61, St. Clair.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud, host of The Storm right here on WYLN TV. The show's called The Storm for good reason. Each week I tackle important and often controversial issues. I enjoy stirring the pot and getting people to think. And I have no problem asking the tough questions, putting elected officials on notice and demanding you get the answers you deserve. So tune in each week to The Storm only on WYLN TV.
Last week we told you many around the NBA thought Philadelphia 76ers would have a hard time winning more than 12.5 games. Well, they're off to a pretty great start, 3-0 in the Atlantic Division, and that start is in part to rookie Michael Carter-Williams. The Syracuse product was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. It is the first time a rookie was named to the title in the first week of his career in the NBA since A1 Shaquille O'Neal. Carter-Williams did have his work cut out for him tonight, though, as the point guard took on Stephon Curry and the Golden State Warriors. We will have that score in just a minute. The Philadelphia Phillies did not extend qualifying offers to Carlos Ruiz or Roy Halladay tonight. That means they can be picked up as free agents by other clubhouses beginning in just over an hour. The 36-year-old Halladay came back from shoulder surgery this year and went 4-5 with a 6.82 ERA. Chooch also got a late start due to a suspension for breaking the MLB's drug policy. He hit just .268 with 5 home runs and 37 RBIs. Only 13 other free agents received qualifying offers from their clubs. They include St. Louis outfielder Carlos Beltran, Jacoby Ellsbury from the Red Sox, and Texas's Nelson Cruz. Well, it was a completely different Nick Foles on the field with the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday as he threw for 7 touchdowns in their win against the Oakland Raiders. But that doesn't mean that the Birds have found a new long-term starter. Head coach Chip Kelly said it still all depends on each man's health. Foles is only the 7th quarterback to toss 7 TDs in one game. The 6th was Peyton Manning, who did it earlier this season. The original starter for the Eagles, Mike Vick, is still not practicing after straining his hamstring, and Kelly said he probably will not be ready to play again this coming week. And it wasn't just a big game for Nick Foles. Former Penn State quarterback Matt McGloin also saw his first action in the NFL yesterday for Oakland. The backup went in for Ohio State product Terrell Pryor when he left the game with a knee injury. The West Scranton grad McGloin came in for the last 2 series of the game, and on the second, he led the Raiders to a touchdown. He finished the game 7 of 15 for 87 yards. There's no word if Pryor will be able to play this coming Sunday, and McGloin will come back in. And it was a scary scene in Houston yesterday as an NFL coach was rushed to the hospital during the night game on Sunday night. INN has the story.
Following a scare in the football field, Shelby Lynn has more on what happened and reaction from the team.
We're all very worried.
A feeling that echoed through Reliance Stadium as Coach Gary Kubiak collapsed on the field just after halftime during Sunday night's football game. You can see the 52-year-old coach stop, drop to his knees, and then collapse.
It was a shock to everybody.
Defensive coordinator Wade Phillips spoke after the game, saying the team's medical staff quickly responded, putting Kubiak on a stretcher and wheeling him to an ambulance waiting outside.
He went to a local hospital. All his vital signs are good. He did not have a heart attack, but they're still checking on everything with him.
After the game, Indianapolis head coach Chuck Pagano expressed his concern for Coach Kubiak.
Our thoughts and prayers are with Coach, and we just pray for, obviously, hope that it's nothing serious and that he gets back to health as soon as possible.
I'm Shelby Lynn reporting.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that the 52-year-old was treated with medicine that is used to break up clots consistent with people who suffer strokes. Kubiak is resting, he's alert, and is in good spirits. That's what his family says, and will most likely be in the hospital for at least 24 more hours. We hope he is also on a speedy recovery. Now let's check out, because it is Monday Night Football, let's check out those scoreboards. The Green Bay Packers hosting the Chicago Bears. Not looking good for the Packers fans as Aaron Rodgers is out after suffering a collarbone injury. on the Pac's opening drive. No word when he will be back or the severity of the injury, but right now they do have the lead in the third quarter. In the NBA, Andre Iguodala made his return to Philly with the Golden State Warriors. He dropped 27 in the first half, and the Warriors break that 3-game win streak, 110-90. The Cavs win the close one over the T-Wolves. Boston drops this one to the Grizzlies, and the Clippers hosting Dwight Howard and the Rockets. That one just tipped off at 10:30. And in the NHL, Rangers drop one to the Anaheim Ducks. The Jets leading Detroit 4-2 in the third. And that's it from me tonight. Joe's coming back with the weather right after the break.
Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now open on the Square in Wilkes-Barre. Stop by to see us for lunch to break up and brighten up your day. Or get it to go. Our lunch menu ranges from light to all right, with signature salads, saloon-style sandwiches, crunchy rings, Nipa's best wings, and draft drinks to power you through the afternoon. After work, we're there to help you unwind with friends. Put little bottlenecks in your day. Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now on the Square. See you there.
With over 35 years as a community leader and as a teacher of mathematics, Eugene Kelleher knows what it will take to lower the county debt.
We can't raise taxes to lower the debt and put our seniors in jeopardy of losing their homes, and borrowing funds will only make matters worse. If re-elected, I will work with other council members to secure alternate revenue streams to lower the county debt. But I need your vote.
Vote Eugene Kelleher for Luzerne County Council.
Gould SureSave is proud to announce our expanded dairy department, which means a 10% increase in our dairy variety. Like our other departments, dairy is now computer controlled for temperature and food safety. With this, our fourth secondary cooling system, we now have well over 90% environmentally friendly refrigeration. New dairy door cases with LED lighting help create energy efficiency, selection, freshness, safety.
Stop by Gould SureSave and get everything you need for your family's holiday table.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
Well, nothing to show you right now. 35 Doppler. It is dry, 30 degrees. Our lively high tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Winds averaging anywhere between 5 to as much as 10 miles per hour. You can clearly see the cold air entrenched across our region. Some milder air is going to start to make its way into our area as we go into tomorrow. 37 now at the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 31 in Mount Pocono, 35 in Williamsport, 29 in Selinsgrove, and 36 in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures holding only in the 30s. Satellite and radar, you can see those clouds. Quite a few of them now starting to come into our area, but again, nothing falling from those clouds, and those clouds, at least some of that deck of clouds, will keep the temperatures a little bit warmer than what they were last night, but still going to be a chilly night across all of our viewing area. Nothing to show you on Skycast precipitation and clouds as we go out into the future for tomorrow. It's going to stay dry, and I think it'll stay dry as we go into our Wednesday. Next chance of seeing any type of rain won't get here until we go into our Thursday, and that's when we're going to have to deal with a couple of showers across our region. But at least for tomorrow, heading into tomorrow, it'll be milder for tomorrow. I think we'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys at Division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next few days. Generally in the 40s to near 50 as we head into tomorrow. Then we're up into the 50s after that. Some showers around for Thursday. And then it'll be dry then for Friday and going into the weekend, and as we start going into early next week.
All right. Well, like we said yesterday and earlier today, that it should be nice for those heading out to the polls. And don't forget to be here on WYLN. Check in live for election night coverage. It begins at 8 o'clock. It runs till 10 o'clock. Panelists include Don Pachentz, Dave Yonkai, Tiffany Cloud, and Hazleton Councilwoman Jean Mope. So lots to look forward to,
Absolutely.
including Beth Mensinger, Gary Perna, and myself out in the field getting those numbers for you and speaking with candidates as they see the numbers come in. So it's an exciting night here at WYLN. Lots to talk about,
As
lots
always.
to do. And don't forget, Gary Perna and I will be on Topic 8 tomorrow at 5:30 with your top stories of the day. Plus, we'll talk election. All right, we will see you tomorrow at 5:30 and 8 o'clock for election coverage. Have a wonderful night.